What's up, Keep Pounding crew? Back to another video. Keep pounding. Today's topic is the New Orleans Saints pregame for Week 17. If you like the video, if you like the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, select all, and leave a comment down below. Let's dive in. Alright, so we just signed a quarterback, Tommy Stevens. And if you're not familiar with him, he played with Penn State and Mississippi State back in college. And he was very, very good, too. If you would like, I will leave a link to the highlight reel video that I was watching about him in the comments below. So let's get back into this Saints game. And we are dealing with Drew Brees. 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 2,741 yards, with 253 completions this year out of 358. Versus Teddy Two Gloves, 327 out of 469 completions, 3,557 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Now, the toughest person to stop today is going to be Kamara. 187 carries, 932 yards, and 16 touchdowns. That's right, I said it. 16. Man, with our lack of a run defense, Kamara's going to run circles around it. Versus Mike Davis, 165 yards. 165 carries, 642 yards, 6 touchdowns. And Kamara is also the leading receiver for the Saints with 83 receptions, totaling 756 yards and 5 touchdowns. Versus DJ Moore, 61 receptions, 1,092 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Is our top receiver. But of course, Curtis Samuel only needs about 70 yards to be the first Panthers trio to reach a massive amount of yards in Panthers history. So, my point is, get him the ball. Get him the ball. Get him the ball today. If they start doubling him up, we'll know. We'll know exactly why. But we're gonna go ahead and say 29.9 points per game for the Saints, 22.9 for us. Average points per game, 22.0 even. Points allowed per game versus our 24.6. We have gained 365.9 total yards average for the year versus their 390.2. And obviously, the big number I want to point out is the yards rushing that the Saints got is 140.6 average rushing for the year. That's a big number right there. That's all Alvin Kamara. And he was injured too for a good chunk of the year. Keep that in mind. So Kamara and his backup were able to amass 140.6 yards average rush for the year. It's incredible, isn't it? Alright, so Now, here's the number I want to point out on the Saints defense. Rushing yards allowed, 95.2 for the entire year. That's an average. Average number. But that's a scary average number because it's below 100, and everybody's been racking up 100 this year. Everybody. Even Mike Davis. So, crazy thing is, we're not going to have much success with the rushing game today, I don't think. So it's going to have to be through the air. The Saints are going to beat us with their pass coverage, and it's going to be ugly. I'm going to be honest, it's going to be ugly. So, let's take a look at the Saints' last 5 games. They beat Minnesota 52-33. They lost to the Chiefs 32-29 in a close game. They lost to the Eagles 24-21 in a close game in Philadelphia. They beat Atlanta 21-16, and they blew out a Denver team which we could not beat 31-3. Now, if you think this Saints team is not for real, all you got to do is look at that score against the Chiefs. That'll tell you all you need to know. Because anybody that can play that close to the Chiefs is for real this late in the season. Now, early in the season, that's a different matter. We were looking pretty strong early in the season, but we dropped off the face of the earth in the second half of the season. So, yeah, after that Bears loss, that was it. That was it. We just could not come back. But we have a 27% chance of winning this game, according to ESPN Matchup Predictor. The spread is +6 to us. So, let's take a look at injuries real quick. And I'm going to tell you who's on the injury list. Troy Pride Jr. got moved to the IR. And we replaced him with the quarterback, Tommy. So that's a hip injury. Russell Okung is out. Gross Matos is questionable. Austin Larkin is questionable. Effie Obata is questionable. None of them have injury statuses listed. Christian McCaffrey is still doubtful. Mike Davis is doubtful with an ankle injury. Brian Burns is doubtful with a shoulder injury as well. So those are your main injuries going into this game. And we're going to take a look at the Saints here in a second. In the meantime, flex them if you got them. NFC Championship ring. Fantasy ring. 2019. Flex them if you got them. Come on, guys. You know what I'm saying? Flex on them. So, DJ Swearinger is out. Michael Burton is out. Dwayne Washington is out. Latavius Murray, which is a big one, is placed on the COVID list. Kamara is out. Marcus Williams is out. Josh Hill is out. Patrick Robinson is on the IR. CJ Gardner-Johnson is out. And we have a bunch of players on the IR here. Michael Thomas is a big one that's on there. And then you got Jason Vanderleen, who used to be on our squad, by the way, is out. And Noah Spence is out. So, that is your injuries going into this game. Now I'm going to point out specific players that are going to be in. And Latavius Murray is going to be your most dangerous one. Excuse the yawn on cam. I'm tired. But Latavius Murray's out. Kamara's out. That's all three running backs. All three running backs, guys. So, we're looking at probably a wide receiver coming in and helping out. Because I think Dwayne Washington is out as well. We might see a little bit of Ty Montgomery. We'll see. Receiving. Emmanuel Sanders is taking over receiving-wise. Jared Cook's going to get the ball a lot, so we're going to need some middle linebacker help on him. Traquan Smith is going to be probably one-on-one versus Douglas. And Michael Thomas is going to be out there too on a few plays, depending on who is healthy. And as of right now, Michael Thomas is hurt. He's on IR. Traquan Smith is on IR. So what we're going to be seeing is Dante Harris, Latavius Murray, and I believe Murray is hurt as well. No, he isn't. Oh, yeah, Murray's out. So they're going to be extremely limited in the wide receiver category today. So you'll see a lot of balls go to Jared Cook. And probably a couple of the lower end wide receivers that don't get many catches will get one. So, defensively, we need to look out for Demario Davis. He's got 114 total tackles, 71 solo, 4 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, 4 passes defended this year. We need to watch out for him. That's a dangerous linebacker right there. Now, next on the list to watch out for is Malcolm Jenkins. He's got 87 tackles, 67 of them solo, 2.5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, 9 passes defended, and 2 interceptions. As well as a forced fumble and a recovery. So the safeties are very, very dangerous. You still got C.J. Gardner-Johnson as well on the list. That's racked up some numbers here this year. He's got 13 passes defended. Marshawn Lattimore's got 10. And Janoris Jenkins has 11 passes defended. As well as a touchdown to go along with those numbers. So this is a very, very dangerous defense. And I'm going to tell you, we are in for a bad, bad game here. David, the defensive tackle, has 6.5 sacks, 11 tackles for a loss, and 2 passes defended, as well as an interception. So this is a very, very dangerous team that we're facing today. And I don't see us getting a win, and I'm glad of it. And I mean, you go down the list, you've got Trey Hendrickson, the defensive end, has 12.5 sacks, a pass defended, and a forced fumble. So keep an eye open for him as well. Honestly, the rest don't really scare me on this list of numbers, but Those are the ones that do. And those are the ones you got to watch out for heavily. Or they will wreck your offense. So, that's what we're doing with today. Should we take the L? Absolutely. We don't need to be trying for a win and trying to wreck ourselves even further in the draft spots. I understand people are not going to want to root against their own team today, and that's fine. You don't have to, just don't root for us. That's my whole point. It's because the draft is set up to help out teams that are lower in the draft order and cannot start winning again without some draft help. That's the whole point. And we just dropped to 9th spot. We were number 4, folks. We had a shot at Justin Fields. We had a shot at Trevor Lawrence. We had a chance at Sewell. We had a chance at so many players. And if you want a whole list of those players, go watch my earlier videos about what our future is going to look like on the channel. But cut that list in half now that we're number 9. These are the players that we have left that we could possibly draft from. If we win again, nobody's going to want a 15th number 1 pick in a trade. You know, come on, be real, folks. No one wants a number 9 pick in the first round anymore. You know, if you want to trade down, maybe we could try, but there's got to be a player with it. You got to give up some talent with it. Otherwise, there's no point in trading down. I said what I said. Like it or don't like it. But that's what the reality is. And all I hear about is talks about Justin Trask, Fields, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, come on, folks. Be reasonable here. Some of these ideas and fantasies that people have in this fan base just are not reasonable. They're just not going to happen. Like, we have 0 shot at Trevor Lawrence now. 0. Unless he magically falls to us, which there's maybe a 5% chance of that happening with all the quarterbacks dropping in the last 10 years down to the 10th spot. But, you know, come on. There's too many teams ahead of us that want a quarterback. Let's be honest here. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to talk about Trask, Belichick has already got his eyes on Trask. And I heard somebody say in Big Cat stream that maybe we might want to make sure that we get Justin Fields before the Falcons do. I don't know that Fields will even be dropping to us. The way he beat Clemson. So, you know, I got to be realistic here. We need an offensive tackle. We need Cosme. We need to build up this line. If you want to trade down for another second-round pick to do it, fair enough. But I just don't know who's going to take a number 9 pick at this point in the first round without a player involved. So that's my scoop on it. That's my ideas on it. Think what you want. Debate however you want in the comment section, but that's how I feel about it. And I'm always going to be real with you because that's what this channel is. So, that being said, back on the regular subject here. This is going to be a rough game, but we've had a heck of a ride this year. Think about it. We played close to the Raiders and the Chiefs this year. That's an accomplishment. Look at all the things that we've accomplished this year. I'm going to put out a video about all of our accomplishments this year. And then I'm going to put out a separate video about the things that we still need to work on. That'll be coming probably next week. And then I want to focus primarily on draft. That's going to be the next few videos after that. And then free agency. So, be looking out for videos. They're not going to slow down that much. We're still going to have a few videos coming out in the next month here. But that's the update for right now. I'll let you know more at the end of the game in the post-game video. What's going to happen and what our schedule is going to look like for the next few months. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Keep pounding.